Well, Mad Artist fans, it's time for the Mad Artist Show. And this is going to be an interesting show because I make my own homemade wine. The Mad Artist Wine. And this is the Mad Artist Wine Work Center right here. So right now I'm going to be bottling up, I'm going to show you how you bottle up wine. I'm going to be bottling up a nice white Pinot Grigio, and I'm going to do a Pinot Noir in the red. And I'm going to be bottling these and corking them. And the first step I want to show you, because we're going to go into hyperspace with this, because it takes some time, is I got very hot water here, and I've put the disinfectant in. The disinfectant is potassium metazophate. But you put this stuff in here, and it basically, you take the bottles, and it disinfects the bottles. So basically, I got these bottles up here already disinfected, and these ones drying, and basically, I'm sticking the bottles into the hot water and the disinfectant, and it's very important to have everything disinfected. You don't want any mold or anything like that happening, so I'm disinfecting all the bottles, and we're going to get that process done, and then we'll go to the next stage. There it is. Usually you put the bottles in, it takes about 7 bottles in the bucket, you leave it for about 5 minutes or so, and then you take them out, turn them upside down over here. Let the water all drain out, the bottles are all disinfected, and then basically we'll start siphoning the clear white wine out of the 6-gallon bottle into these bottles. And you're going to see the corking, you're going to see they putting the labels on, and basically the process of bottling wine. So Mad Artist fans, this is going to be a little fun episode, and I think you'll enjoy it. Well, Mad Artist fans, we're back, and we just disinfected all the bottles. I disinfected all the bottles for the red, I disinfected all the bottles for the white. And now I disinfected the container down here, and I got my hose, my siphoning hose inside the disinfection water. Disinfection is the most important thing. But let me explain a little bit about wine. First of all, I get the wine in September. We get the wine in Chelsea, there's a distribution center there. But I don't squeeze the grape and stomp on it with my feet like crazy people do. I buy the wine in buckets and I let the vineyard do all that. And when I get the buckets, they usually come in 6-gallon buckets, and it's called mash. And what it is the squeezed juices of the grape. And what you got to do, it's got the yeast in it, it's got everything, it's ready to go, but it hasn't reacted yet because they keep it cold. So when I buy my mash, I take it home. It starts to get to room temperature, and you pop this little cork off the top, and then it starts to foam. And what that is that's the yeast eating all the sugar and making the alcohol content. And it's a crazy thing. They're bubbling and going crazy, and you let that go on for like a week or 8 days until it starts to slow down and everything else. And then you take the mash. You got to take the mash. Now the mash is all mixed up and everything else, and you siphon it into the bottles. Disinfect all the bottles, and then you siphon it into the bottles. And you put the earlocks. You can see the earlocks on all my wine here. That's to make sure that no bacteria or anything can get into the wines. What that does is that gets the sediment to slowly fall to the bottom of the bottle. The sediment is where you get the bitterness in wine. And if you do it right, you can have some nice smooth wine. And I've had some really nice smooth wines coming out lately. Basically, you let the bottle sit now with the wine inside the bottles. You let it sit for like 8 weeks. By 8 weeks, a lot of the sediment has fallen to the bottom of the bottle, and then you're going to start the process all again. You're going to take a bucket, disinfect it, you're going to siphon the wine out of the bottle into the bucket, you got to clean all the sediment out of the bottle, you got to wash out the bottle, disinfect it, and then you siphon the wine back into the bottle. And then you put the earlock on. Now that's going to sit for like till now. So it's March now, and it's been sitting since September. So since September, the wine has finally come to fruitation. It's actually good wine. All the sediment has fallen to the bottom and it's pretty crystal clear wine and it's ready for bottle. Now this white wine that I'm bottling right now, this white wine right here is a Pinot Grigio, but I'm doing this for a friend, Anna. And Anna started this last year when she heard I was making wine. She goes, oh, can I make some wine? So I started making some wine for her and I made her a batch last year. And you get like 24 bottles out of a 6-gallon container like this, which ends up costing you about $2.25 for a bottle of wine. How can you beat that, right? But this is called Anna White. And we call it, it's really cool because she gets two 12-bottle boxes of her own wine. So when she has a party or something, she gets to pull out her own Pinot Grigio. That's her label and everything else, and it's just fun. It's like my Mad Artist wine. I give most of this wine away as gifts for crying out loud because it's just a cool thing to have. You know what I mean? And it tastes great. It's great for it's a good wine. It's a very good wine. I just took a little of this Anna White out, and I'm gonna take another sip. And it's fabulous. I can't believe how good it came out. Now that's the first time I've tasted this wine, and this is great wine. Now I just want to show you one more thing before we get into the putting the wine into the bottles. Like I'll show you. Here's one of my reds with one of my labels, and this is how cool this is. I got a corking machine. You're going to see the corking of the wine. You're going to see all this putting on the labels. This is the Chianti I have right here, and this is the Mad Artist wine right here. Isn't that cool? A bottle of your own homemade wine. And it's a great gift, and it's great to have around the house. And my kids, I'm picking a few bottles every time they stop by, which is fabulous. I get some older wine here. This is actually from 2001 Mad Artist wine. That's before I started doing the real labels. But you can see, this is my wine rack right up here. And it's going to be all filled with wine, red wine when I'm done. And these boxes I got over here are going to be filled with Anna's white wine. So without ado, let's start filling these bottles up because this is going to take some time. And I'm going to put it in hyperspeed because that's what you got to do because it's a time-consuming business. But you know something? It's a lot of fun and you're drinking wine as you do it, so that takes the sting out of it. So Mad Artist fans, let's bottle the wine. Well, Mad Artist fans, we have filled up all the bottles, and you can see I got over 24 bottles of the white Pinot Grigio, and I got over 24 bottles of the Pinot Noir, which is absolutely fabulous. This wine came out fantastic. Where's my glass? Where's my glass? Oh my God! Did I lose my glass of Pinot? I got the Pinot Noir here that is absolutely fantastic. Smooth like you can't believe. And here it is, the Pinot Noir. Came out great. This is the first time I tasted it. Came out fantastic. Well, now we're going to go to a hyperspace, but I'm going to show you first in the video the corking procedure. Now I got the corks in the bucket of disinfectant, and I got a pan here with this disinfectant. The corks are all being disinfected, so you make sure you get no bacteria in there. And this is such a cool machine. I'll show you how it works. You stick the bottle in like this, and you stick the cork inside here, and it squeezes the cork and sticks it in the bottle. Is that the coolest? And there it is. Look, corked bottle of wine, Mad Artist wine. Now I'm going to do a red. Put it in the stand, lock it in, take the cork, stick it in the chamber, it squeezes. This is a fantastic machine. It was the best thing I ever bought. When I started making wine, I started getting the bottles and I was using like these stupid corks that you just plug in and they were leaking, and I was having a problem the whole first year. And finally somebody says, buy a corking machine. I went down, this was $60 for a corking machine. I got a big whole thing of corks, and And it's just boom, bang. Look at this. Perfectly corked. Is that the coolest? Now I'm going to cork all these bottles real fast and we'll get back and start the labeling after this. I'm having a lot of fun and I'm drinking wine. Well, Mad Hatters fans, we just got all the bottles corked, and they're all sealed, and they're all pristine, and we're not going to worry about bacteria or anything. These things are ready to be drunk, popped and drunk. And I got to say, my wife is the best there is. She made all the labels, and I'm going to show you how we put the labels on. But I want to show you some of these labels, though. This is great. This is the Pinot Noir. It's all my artwork. Look at this. There's the picture of Stan Lee. Look at this. There's Frankenstein. There's Renoir. There's the Mad Artist picture. It's fantastic. She put all my artwork on these cards, which is so great. So when people get the bottle of wine, they actually get a little bit of my artwork too. And Anna White. This was a sketch my sister did of Anna a long time ago. And I put it in as Debbie put it in as the label. So this is the Anna White. She's going to be out of her mind when she gets this wine. It's so fantastic. And look, she has a roll label, Anna White. Now I'm going to show you how I put these on, because to tell you the truth, they're only paper. So they wash off afterwards so I can use the bottles again. But what I do is I take some regular wood glue. This is just wood glue. That's all it is. It's just basic wood glue. I put a splash of this in there, into this black thing, and I add just a touch of water. Just a touch of water. And then I mix it all up with a brush. All it is wood glue. It's like Elmer's glue or anything like that. That's all it is. It's just wood glue. That's all. And you know something that works the best? And put a little more glue in there. Too much water. I got a lot of bottles to do. I got like 50 bottles here or more. Imagine that, 50 bottles of wine. I had just 2 bottles, and I got 6 more 6-gallon bottles left. Well, this is how it's done, okay? And I'm going to do the Anna White first. We're going to do all the Anna Whites. I lay the bottle down. I take a rag, and I clean off the surface like this. Then I'll take an Anna White label, turn it upside down, take some glue on it, make sure I get all the edges, turn it around, and just lay it right on the bottle, just like that, and flatten it out. And then I'll take a rag so you don't have any of the glue on the bottle, and I'll push it down. You see what I'm doing? I'm pushing it down like this. Get all the edges like that. And look, a bottle of Anna White, her own label. Isn't that the greatest? Now I'll do one more just to show you. Look at that. Anna White, finished product. I'll throw a red. The Pinot Noir. The Pinot Noir. I'm so bad at these pronunciations. It's unbelievable. This is a great one. Look, this is Stan Lee. All right? A painting I did of Stan Lee, which I gave to a good friend of mine. I know he loves it. Kid was a great kid. Travis. Great boxer. Unbelievable boxer, this kid. And I put the water, put the glue on. And I get the spot where I just wiped down, and I get it nice and level and perfect. And I lay it down. And then I'll take my rag, and I'll wipe the edges. Make sure it gets down. And look at this. A finished bottle of Martelli's Pinot Noir, the Mad Artist wine. And wait till people drink this. I love it. You know, these bottles, right? They all have my artwork on them. I'm going to start signing them personally with a marker. They might be collector items someday. Who knows? The Mad Artist might be famous someday. When I'm dead, they'll be famous. Well, we're going to go into hyperspeed right now, and we're going to label all these bottles, and then I'm going to box them for Anna and put these on my shelf. which I'll show you, and the wine is mad. And I've been drinking the wine. So my neck injury, which I'll tell you the truth, putting these corks in just killed me. That's the worst part of this process. I feel like somebody's sticking a knife on my neck, for crying out loud. But the wine's helping, believe me. Well, Mad Artist fans, I've been drinking the wine, which has been helping my neck, and I got all these bottles labeled. And here's a box for Anna's wine, Anna White. And I got to tell you, I've been drinking so much wine that I put a couple of labels on upside down. So Anna has one label upside down, which I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sign. And this is going to be the keeper. This is the one she should keep for a long time. And it's to Anna. From the Mad Artist. And I'll sign it. That's the keeper. That's the hidden bottle inside the 24 bottles that I'm giving her. This is the hidden bottle. This is the one she should keep. This is the bottle right here that she should keep. It's the upside down label. And I got another upside down label, which I didn't realize I was doing because I'm drinking so much wine. And it's the Stan Lee and Travis. If you're listening to me and you're watching my videos, right, I got a bottle of wine for you that's going to be hand signed. I'll give you a couple bottles actually so you can taste it. But I got a bottle of wine for you that's hand signed with the painting that I gave you. And I think it would be a nice collector's item because who knows, someday when the Mad Artist is dead, it might even be worth some money. Who knows? Well, all my stuff is going to be worth some money when I'm finally dead. I got a twin brother. I should knock him off and start signing his name. I'll make a fortune. But this is the Travis. The Mad Artist. And Travis, that bottle's here waiting for you, and a couple more actually. Right there, buddy. Your picture upside down. Well, I'm going to finish putting the bottles in for Ann. And my sister's going over to Anna's house tonight, and she's going to take a couple of these bottles with her. And I know she's going to be so pleased. It just makes me so happy. You know, I give this wine to people, and they really do get happy. They flip out. It's like, you know, it's the greatest thing in the world, you know. It's a little touch of me, you know. And they get to drink it, and it's a good wine. I can't even believe how good a wine it is. It's unbelievable. Well, Mad Artist fans, I think this is the end of the Mad Artist show. And Travis, here's that bottle of wine. Here's the finished product right here. All right? Have a nice day, Mad Artist fans. Someday maybe you'll get a bottle of the Mad Artist wine.